Ukraine, a nation on its knees, a world that looks away. Kyiv/Tirana, October 2025. For almost 4 years, Ukraine has been bleeding, not in silence, but in a noise the world has chosen to ignore. The air raid sirens that echo every morning, the explosions that erase whole neighborhoods, the children who wake up trembling, these are no longer news. They have become background noise to a world too busy, too numb, too tired to care. But for Ukrainians there is no pause button. Their war continues, merciless, senseless, endless. A country turned to dust. The invasion that began on a freezing February morning in 2022 has transformed Ukraine from a nation of hope to a land of ruins. More than 12 million people depend on humanitarian aid. Millions more are displaced, scattered across borders or trapped under fire. Entire towns, Bakhmut, Mariupol, Avdiivka, have been wiped off the map. What once were family homes are now mountains of gray dust and twisted metal. Hospitals are bombed. Schools reduced to rubble. Power plants targeted so that civilians freeze during winter. War crimes disguised as military operations. In every corner of this country, there are mothers who no longer know where their children are. Fathers who bury their sons in backyards because cemeteries are full. Old people who survived World War II, now reliving it at the end of their lives. The human cost behind the headlines. Every statistic hides a story. A woman named Alina, 83 years old, lives alone in the ruins of her apartment block in Kharkiv. She cooks with melted snow and sleeps next to a wall shattered by missiles. Her pension is worthless, her city half dead, yet she refuses to leave. "This is my home," she says. "If I die here." Children, the invisible casualties, carry trauma heavier than their school bags. Millions no longer go to school at all. Many have lost both parents. Psychologists warn of a mental health crisis that will haunt the country for generations. The numbers are staggering, but what they fail to capture is the quiet heartbreak of survival. The moment a child asks, "Will the soldiers come tonight?" Or the silence of a father staring at the ashes of his home. A broken economy, a stolen future. Ukraine's once vibrant economy lies in ruins. Factories stand idle. Farmland, the breadbasket of Europe, is scarred by craters and mines. Inflation devours salaries. The local currency has become a cruel joke. Millions of Ukrainians who fled now wash dishes in European cities, praying for news from home. The war has made the poor poorer and the rich richer. And while oligarchs and arms dealers fill their pockets, the ordinary Ukrainian pays the ultimate price, their future. The indifference of a tired world. Perhaps the most brutal wound of all is indifference. As the war drags into its 4th year, the world's outrage fades. The global cameras have moved elsewhere, Gaza, Sudan, Congo. Ukraine is no longer the headline war. Donations drop, politicians grow silent and Western unity fractures. But the bombs haven't stopped. The bodies haven't stopped falling. The screams haven't stopped. Only the attention has. Every time the world scrolls past a story from Kyiv or Zaporizhia, another line of defense and human conscience collapses. The cry for peace. This war must end, not with empty speeches or staged handshakes, but with courage and justice. The Ukrainian people deserve peace, not as a privilege but as a basic right to live without fear. They deserve heating in winter, food on their tables, classrooms for their children, and graves that do not multiply every week. The international community must not allow this conflict to become a new normal. Because there is nothing normal about cities turned to ashes. There is nothing normal about a child growing up knowing only war. A final plea. If humanity still has a conscience, now is the time to prove it. Ukraine is not just fighting for land, it is fighting for dignity, for survival, for the idea that evil cannot erase a nation simply because it wants to. This war must end. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Because every day it continues, another piece of our shared humanity dies with it.